Hi, this is Janice Hope. I'm the designer of the blanket for the Jimmy Beans Knit Along for 2021. I hope that you're excited to begin just as I am. I'd like to make this video to just introduce you to some of the concepts you'll need to know in order to knit your blanket and just to provide some guidance on some of the things that might look a little bit weird at the start. Okay, let's begin. I have here my interchangeable needles, so I can change this for a longer cable when I need to. They screw off. I've got my 3 stitch markers. I have my ball of Malabrigo Rios. This is blue jean colorway, which I love. It's beautiful, and I've already wound it into a ball. We start off like usual with just a quick slip knot, and then we will need to cast on our 6 stitches. I like to use a knit cast on for this because it's just small, it doesn't make a big hard edge because we're going to be sewing it together later, so it's helpful to have a really elegant small cast on. I have locking stitch markers, so I can actually add 2 of them now. And the way these are supposed to land is there's supposed to be 2 stitches, then a marker in between. And then 1 stitch between the markers. And there, we're all lined up and ready to start. So now we can begin working the first row here. You can check out my other video that explains the increases and how they work. I think the important thing though is just to make sure that your marker ends up on the correct side of the increases as you make them. You don't want to get those mixed up. It's really important that they stay on the right side, otherwise your increased lines will not be lined up correctly, and you could potentially have some issues with it ending up totally the wrong shape, because the pattern does rely on the markers to indicate where you are to be. I have the first 7 rows here all done, which doesn't really take that long. And some of the things you might be noticing is that this looks really weirdly stretched out. That's totally normal. That will be fine once you're actually done. There's this knit column coming up that you can track pretty easily visually. On the back, it's still a little bit hard to tell where it is, but as you get more and more rows, this will be more obvious on the wrong side. And when you can clearly see where this column is, you can just remove the stitch marker. It's just there so you don't miss it. Same with this stitch marker as well, actually. We're just increasing every 2nd row. It's pretty easy to memorize. You don't really need a marker. This one's in the middle, it's a little bit harder to see, but again, up to you. You could just remove the marker now that you can see where it needs to be. It's obvious. And yeah, as you fiddle with this, you will definitely notice these large bars. It's fine, don't worry about them. They will get squished in once we actually stretch this into the intended shape.